Assalamualaikum and good evening. My name is Lukman Hakim and I want to present to you about my project for PSM1. The title for my project is Development of Sugarcane Fiber or Epoxy with Aluminium Honeycomb. In this slide, it has 6 parts which consists of introduction, objective, literature review, methodology, Gantt chart and also reference. For literature review, there is 3 research is used to support my research, which is testing and modeling tearing and air effect of aluminium honeycomb under out-of-plane impact loading, quasi-static cutting response of combined hexagonal aluminium honeycomb at various stacking angles, and lastly, failure analysis on octagonal honeycomb sandwich panel under air blast loading. For the methodology, there is a research design, material selection, and equipment. Next, for the introduction. These days, construction of a building use concrete to create a sturdy wall. Concrete is a composite material that created from cement. Concrete is used due to its low cost and also have a high compressive strength. But concrete have a low tensile strength. However, aluminium honeycomb structure on the other hand not only has a high compressive strength but it also high tensile strength. It also reduces the amount of material used. So, in this project, a combination between honeycomb panel with natural sugarcane fiber is used to find is it better in mechanical properties than the normal aluminium honeycomb. The objective for this project is to use sugarcane residue and epoxy with aluminium honeycomb as a medium to build shelter. Next, to identify the structure and toughness of combination between sugarcane with epoxy and aluminium honeycomb. Next, for the literature review, the first one is testing and modeling tearing and air effect of aluminium honeycomb under out-of-plane impact loading. In this research, it is used different type of tests for block and bumper honeycomb to know its behavior when under quasi-static and dynamic loads. There are 3 types of tests used in this research. The first one is uniform compression. The second one, compression shear in LT and WT section, and lastly, a test for indentation. Next, second literature review is quasi-static cutting response of combined hexagonal aluminium honeycombs at various stacking angles. In this research, it used a composition of multi-layer aluminium honeycomb panel that also known as combined hexagonal honeycomb panel. In short form is CHAH. CHAH is used because the densification strength of combined structure for the CHAH is higher than the single layer honeycomb panel. However, the mechanical properties and energy absorption in this mechanism is not clear. As you can see, these are examples for combined hexagonal aluminium honeycomb. Next, for the last literature review, failure analysis on octagonal honeycomb sandwich panel under air blast loading. This research is focused on the octagonal honeycomb behavior when exposed to air blast loading. In compared to a solid plate with the same comparable mass, the sandwich panel demonstrates a superior strength. It was discovered that the honeycomb panel sandwich panel can give up to 30 times better rigidity than metallic sheets for approximately the same weight. As an example, the A is a octagonal sandwich panel, meanwhile B is a square sandwich panel. Next, for the methodology, the first one we talk about research design. So, in this project, it offers a combination of an aluminium honeycomb with a sugarcane residue. The size of one honeycomb is only between 1.5 mm and 2.5 mm. We use a small size of one honeycomb because the smaller the size of one honeycomb, the higher the compressive strength. Next, for the material selection. The material that used in this project is an aluminium honeycomb panel, bisphenol A epichlorohydrin epoxy, polytheramine D400 curing agent for epoxy, and lastly, natural sugarcane fiber. Aluminium honeycomb panel acts as a base for the specimen. Bisphenol A epichlorohydrin epoxy is combined with polytheramine D400 curing agent and also combined with natural sugarcane fiber, and then pour in the aluminium honeycomb panel to improve its strength. Next, for the equipment. The first equipment is electronic balancing. Electronic balancing, or a scale, is a device to measure weight or mass. These are also known as mass scale, weight scale, mass balance, and weight balance. In this project, electronic balancing is used to weigh the epoxy, the curing agent, and also the fiber to get the right ratio. Next, the second equipment is stirrer. A stirrer primary role is to agitate liquid in order to speed up process or improve mixer. In this experiment, a stirrer is used to stir the mixture of epoxy and the sugarcane residue. For the third equipment is oven. An oven is a tool which is used to expose material to hot environment. Lastly, the last equipment is mold. When pouring the epoxy, the mold will keep the shape and also keep the epoxy from flowing out. Next, for the experimental setup. When the specimen is made, it needs to be tested to identify its compressive strength and tensile strength. There are two types of tests used in this research. Both of them are purposely to identify the behavior of the specimen after impact and also to identify their mechanical properties. The two types of tests that used in this research is impact test and also 3-point bending test. Impact test that used in this project is drop test. Drop test is a mechanical inspection of a component that involves dropping it from specific height onto the specific surface. It's generally started as part of a product quality process, and it is used to ensure product safety and quality. Various standards may also required when drop testing in specific intents. Next, for 3-point bending test. The purpose of 3-point bending test to identify the modulus of elasticity in bending fractural stress, fractural strain, and the material flexural strain response may all be determined using 3-point bending flexural test. This test is carried out with a 3-point or 4-point bend fixture on a universal testing machine. The major benefit of 3-point bending test is how simple it is to prepare and evaluate the specimen. These are the example of impact drop test and 3-point bending test. And lastly, we talk about my Gantt chart. So, a Gantt chart is a type of bar chart that illustrates project schedule. It is consists of planning and for the actual. So the yellow one indicates the planning and the green one for the actual.